Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go over the cards that everybody wants according to TCGPLAYER. Now, Awakening of the New Era is going to release Friday, December 8th, but a lot of people have been already opening it up, especially the LGSs. And before we continue, just a short notice for those people that don't know, if you see a pre-sale item over here, it means that certified hobby shops are the only one that are allowed to post. So that means the people that are trying to race to the bottom sooner or later would not be able to post their prices up until the release date. So that all information over here is just like the stores. So there's a few people that are arguing that this is going to be the set price, and it's not normally is. It's going to always be like a race to the bottom at the beginning. So make sure to watch out for that one if you don't already know that information. So, of course, honorary mention is the Awakening of the Era new booster box. And this one is ranging from 160 to 175 now, with shops even selling it at 1,800 per booster box. And sadly, people are buying it because they're scared that there's not going to be any more for the future, kind of like what OP01, OP02 is having right now. And a lot of the sellers that I mentioned are scaring the people out and telling them that they don't have allocations anymore. But I have talked to a few sellers and they say there's just some distribution issues. That's why there's going to be wave 2 at the end of December, and then on January it's going to be wave 3. Now, of course, it might differ from your area, so make sure that you check that one out from your local game stores. And of course, if we look into this one, there's still a lot of people that are buying this one at this price. And if we go to the actual booster box, surprisingly people are buying it at this price, and even one recent for 2,000, which is kind of sad. And if you have a local game shop that really values your players, then definitely ask them if you could get a few boxes for a lower price. But that's kind of a long shot right now. But there's a few sellers that I know are really nice and does so for their loyal customers. Now let's go over to the top 10. Number 10 is Zorojuro, which is highly needed in the purple decks. Now currently sitting at $65, but I've seen this one sell for $45 in the marketplace and some Discord exchanges, and some local scenes, of course, in the LGS. And this one would be highly sought off for those that wants to play purple Luffy, and also the RP Luffy that wants this tech. So definitely one of the most sought of cards. Now I believe that this would be settling at about $40 to the $30 range, kind of the Sanji blocker, and the Miss All Sunday, because it's kind of a utility card. It's not a core piece. In a way it's a core piece, but it's not a finisher in a way. Unlike Rob Lucci, a 4 cost 6 body that eliminates 2 characters. This one would be highly sought off. I've been seeing a lot. It's constantly selling at $60 to $80 range, and market price is $70. There is a lot of people that are posting in Facebook that are opening the cases and not getting even one of these ones. So I believe the pull rates for this one, as far as I've seen, is horrendously bad. But the $10 one, if you want to use it, if you don't want the bling up version and just the normal one, then definitely get that one. But for this one, I believe that this is still super high. I believe we could just wait up until people race to the bottom, and I believe this would settle around the $40 to $50 range. Now the next one is Bello Betty, which is one of the most popular characters because of certain features and piece of clothing that she has. Now the leader is sitting at $90, the character is sitting at $50, and I believe both of those ones would still fall because they're not considered top tier by a lot of the regional topping players. They say it's playable, but it fails in comparison to RP Luffy and also Sakazuki. So definitely we would see this one drop. I believe that the leader might drop up until 70 to 60 range, and the Bello Betty character, the searcher, would be around 30 or 50. So that definitely if you do want the cheaper version, the normal one is just $4. Of course, and that would be, for if you want to build like a fun Belobedi deck. Now for the Rebecca, this is a core piece, so this one you can't really remove from like the Sakazuki list, because this is the combo piece. Now this one is like being bought at around like $70, and I think that this would kind of like retain its value in a way for the few weeks that like Sakaluchi would be predominantly dominating in the West. And I think that like once that one like settled down and a lot of people like go back to their categories, go back to like their RP Luffy's, then I believe this would drop to the utility rate of like $30. But that's like just a prediction. And of course, like cheaper version is always available if you want to play like the non-blinged up version. So the next one on their list is like the leaders, which is number 1 is NL, number 5 is Monkey D. Luffy, and then like Sakazuki. All of these ones were holding about like $200, but like NL dropped to $140, and now like most of the listing that I see was like around $100. Purple Luffy, the same, dropped to $180, but like most of the listing that I've seen is selling at $140 because they're afraid that like once Friday come, then like it's gonna drop more. But like Sakaluchi is holding strong. It's still being bought out around like the 200 range up to 180, and even in the marketplace and some Discord ones that I've been in, is still like selling solidly at around like north of 175. So definitely like everybody wants to play the top deck, and these are the 3 that is believed to be like the top. So definitely a lot of people want to bling out. And of course like the special rares, specifically Nami. The reason why, of course, like Nami is Nami. If you're a man of culture, then you would know that you need this one. So this one is like staying at 170, but I've been seeing like postings that are really buying these ones out, which is kind of like scary. And I believe that this might go up more. There's a few listings that I've seen that are listed at 180, and that is more than the market price of TCG. So I'm keeping an eye on like on that one. Now for the Yamato, Uta, Rob Lucci, and Kaido, these are dropping fast. This one, like the marketplace for Yamato was 95 today, but like at night, like after I finished my recording, it dropped now, like even in the sales that I've been seeing, was dropping now at 70. Utah also was dropping to 50. And then like the Rob Lucci, this one was being advertised to be at like 100, and now like being bought out for about like 50 to 60. Now for the Kaido ones, like there is a lot of Kaido fans, so this one is like staying super high currently. And even for me, like I wanted to get this one, like this is staying at like $70, but I've been seeing some listing that are like selling this one for at least like 75 in a way. So like I guess like some people are still holding out up until like Friday to get this one. But like for NL, like it's still staying at like 100, even though like a lot of the lists are not using this one anymore. But it, of course, it's a statement piece, and it's NL. Like a lot of people wants NL in their NL deck. So in my prediction, like these ones would stay high, with the exception of Rob Lucci and Kaido, I believe. So, and then like depending on the performance of NL, like we would see if this one would stay. Now, of course, like the Oda, like Luffy, there are a few people that are selling this one for much higher, and there are some that are trying to, I would say, like hoping and praying that they pull the signed one. That's why like they're trying to buy as much case as they want, because they want it graded. Like most of the raw Oda signed one is selling at 3,000 currently, but like the normal one is just gonna be below 100. Now like this is an existing card, but it looks cool, so if you want to bling your deck, like you have to cough up about like $300 if you're running 3, $400 if you're playing running a playset. but I've been seeing this pulled a lot. So like more than the other cards. So I believe that this would like drop more, and about like $70, I believe, for like the first month. But depending on, of course, like the usage of it, like the Rush Luffy, definitely like it might like retain its value because of like the original art itself, and not like just for like the function. Now, of course, like like there's the gold stamp one. We all of us like hope and pray that we pull this one, but of course, like good luck to those that actually like pull it. That's easier mortgage money. So if you sell it, and then like if you get a PSA 10 on this one, then like you're kind of like set for a good amount of months. Now, of course, like the number one reason why this set is like super popular is the worst generation trio. We have the Gear 5 Luffy, which a lot of people are buying 1,500 up, raw, not ungraded. And for the Law and the Eustace Kid, this one I've seen bought for 700. No takers for the ones that are selling it for 1,500. So I believe that this one would settle at that price, the same as Sabo, and also like Usopp, but like these are more popular. So those ones were 500. I think like this one would sell around like 700 to 900, of course. Now, of all of these ones, that the ones that would keep their value would just be like the ones in the top tier. Mainly it's Sakazuki and like Luffy. Now for the other ones, like Inami is really subjective. Like it's really nice to have this one. Even for me, I am hoping to open up this one like on my case. If not, I'm going to buy one like for my collection. And a lot of people are sending this one to PSA, of course, because like graded dummies are netting a high price. But I believe that the losers for 2024 would drop like NL, mainly because Katakuri is stopping again on like the OP06 meta. So I believe that a lot of them like would be switching back to Katakuri, dropping NL once OP06 hits, which means that like the NL ones would also drop. And then of course like the other cards like over here, the only ones on the top 10 that they mentioned, I believe that would retain its value is like Rob Lucci, which is because like it's core piece. And of course like utility cards not in the top 10, which is like Borsalino and Gidatsu, which is like core pieces and also like finishers. So those ones I believe are the ones that are going to keep their value like super high. Now, like my advice, closing remark is, whenever you buy like these kind of things, like if you're in a rush, I believe like a lot of players are, and they're scared because like they're not gonna get their products. There's a few LGSs in my area that are saying now that their allocations have been shafted and they're not able to get their boxes on time. That's why like a lot of players are just like trying to buy like the products from these stores as soon as possible, which of course like supports the local game stores, because the pre-release is always like the certified game stores. But of course like they're paying first come like premium. So my advice, what I always do is of course like open my own box and just like buy the singles that I need, or wait up until like the people race to the bottom on some of these cards, as at the beginning of like the first week, a lot of people that are opening it, and then like also there's a lot of win a box tournaments that are happening on the first week. A lot of people like fire sale this one, and then it settles down on like the third week or so. That's just my experience. It's very subjective depending on your area, of course. So that is it, guys. Like I'm going to do an update on the prices again after like the release, and then also a week afterwards, and so on and so forth, so we could see like who are the best winners in the Awakening, also in the non-Awakening sets, which is like OP04 back to OP01. So definitely I'll have some opening videos too. I've secured my case on this one, and I was able to get some OP01s too. Hopefully we get something good out of that. And thank you guys for watching. Good luck on your pulls. As always, good luck on the first anniversary tournament, and I'll see you guys on the pre-release. See you.